This week on Fast Track, we have an exclusive interview with Purdue linebacker Jason Werner. Also, Lady Gaga has been speaking up about the military Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy. And President Obama has a new plan to reduce poverty. We have all this and more on this week's edition of Fast Track.
4 Purdue students died last weekend, and one of the deaths was alcohol-related. As a result, the Office of the Dean of Students released a statement on how they plan to make Purdue's campus safer. Kara Oko has more details on some of these new regulations.
In light of the recent tragedy on Purdue's campus and the increase in alcohol-related incidents, the Interfraternity Council had a meeting Wednesday evening. The leadership of the cooperative houses, fraternities, and sororities discussed the long-term solutions to a safer social culture at Purdue. In response to raised concern over current campus social practices, the Interfraternity Council has voted and decided beginning the morning of September 23rd, there will be no social functions for an indefinite period of time. The Office of the Dean of Students would like to assure students, administration, and the community that they are taking this very seriously. The office plans to engage the experts on our campus and on our city. In light of the recent tragedy on Purdue's campus and the increase in alcohol-related incidents, the Interfraternity Council had a meeting Wednesday evening. The leadership of the cooperative houses, fraternities, and sororities discussed the long-term solutions to a safer social culture at Purdue. In response to raised concern over current campus social practices, the Interfraternity Council has voted and decided beginning the morning of September 23rd, there will be no social functions for an indefinite period of time. The Office of the Dean of Students would like to assure students, administration, and the community that they are taking this very seriously. The office plans to engage the experts on our campus and in our city to create a safer environment for the students to socialize with alcohol legally.
Brian Lamb, creator of C-SPAN, returned to his alma mater, Purdue, to kick off a series of lectures spotlighting women who have worked for or with the White House. This week, he interviewed Carolyn Curiel, former ambassador to Belize and senior speechwriter and special assistant to President Bill Clinton.
2 of Purdue's most distinguished alumni were in the spotlight Thursday, September 23rd, as a part of a new series entitled Women of the White House. Brian Lamb, founder and CEO of C-SPAN, returned to West Lafayette to interview Carolyn Curiel, clinical professor of communication and former press secretary and special assistant to former President Bill Clinton. Lamb posed questions about Curiel's childhood, time at Purdue, and her time spent serving the country in the White House as a presidential assistant and speechwriter. Tune in to next week's Fast Track for more information on this historic event. For Fast Track News, I'm Joey Beard.
It's that time of year again. It is football season. We are heading into week 4 of college football, and our reporter Sarah Wortman got the latest updates with the Purdue football team this week when she met with senior linebacker Jason Werner.
Hey football fans, we are on week 4 of Boilermaker football, and the team is now 2-1. I caught up with Jason Werner, the linebacker and captain of Purdue's football team, to talk about the team's progress and how he feels about losing co-captain Keith Smith.
I think it's the team doing a really good job preparing and, figuring out how to win. We have had a couple mistakes here and there, but I think the team did a really good job of just making sure we did what we needed to during the game to get come out ultimately on top. We did.
Now that the Boilers are without co-captain Keith Smith, Jason explained how more members of the team must step up as leaders.
You can't really replace, what a Keith Smith brings to a team as a leader and as a player. Everybody knows, how good of a player Keith is and what he does bring to our team. So as a captain, you have to make sure everybody else steps up as well, and myself too included, just to make sure that we try to pick up the slack that we're going to be missing without him. So we're just going to have to keep preparing and play as hard as we can to make sure we fill that void.
During this past week's game, Jason intercepted the ball to help secure the team's 24-13 win over Ball State.
Well, I'll just drop into my coverage and just trying to make sure that I was taking care of my job. And then Ryan Kerrigan did a good job of rushing the quarterback and got a lot of pressure on him. And with the disruption from him hitting the quarterback, I just tried to make sure I broke on the ball and ultimately catch it once you got your hands on it. And then after that, just try to make sure everybody know that you did catch it to try to get as many yards as you can.
Looking towards the future, Jason explained his goals he has for the season.
Not only to stay healthy, but to make sure that to contribute as much as possible, but just to keep getting better week to week.
This is Sarah Wortman with Fast Track News.
A little unknown fact about Purdue is its rich private collection of historic artworks. Some of the pieces went on display, attracting not only the attention of students and staff, but families in the community.
On Sunday, September 17th from 1:30 to 4:30 p.m., students and community members alike were invited to take part in viewing a selection from the Purdue Gallery's permanent collection. Diego Rivera, Jose Orozco, and Rufino Tamayo were some of the Latin American modernists featured. The gallery is free, but this day was special. From 1:30 to 4:30 p.m. was Dia de la Familia, or Day of the Family. There were various activities available, such as drawing and making clay sculptures, and the children clearly enjoyed every moment. The Art History Student Organization sold warm churros and various other refreshments. Commented tours of the exhibition were also provided. Catherine Dawson, the assistant professor of art history, explained more on why this is a great opportunity for anyone in the community.
Latin American artists like Siqueiros, Orozco, Diego Rivera, or Tamayo. So I think it's an opportunity that even if you go to Chicago at the Art Institute, you don't have some of this work. They have beautiful painting by Rivera, but we have really a very nice collection, and I think for people to simply have access to such a beautiful artworks who talk about the history of Mexico, about the revolution, the identity and the struggle that went. I think it's very interesting.
The gallery will be open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
When we return, Kara Oka will fill us in on Obama's new plan to tackle poverty.
Also, Eric Larson has some tips to preventing accidental fires in the final stretch of summer weather. Stay tuned.